Okay, so what are some of the potential problems that you may come into it when you're doing these concat or appending things? All right, so here are some of the issues. Here's at least one of the issues that I find every so often. One of the critical items when you are binding data, just like we did, we bound April to May, is the column headings. Right? The column headings have to be the same. If they are not, then you will get an error. Okay? There are several ways to do a row bind with different named columns, but I'm going to leave that to you to Google and learn how you might do that. I like to make sure that all of my column headings are the same. Right? So there are ways to do it. All right? And this is for someone who finds it. We have a discussion board in Canvas that we posted, and that discussion, if you as you look things up, that discussion is to share your code ideas with everybody. So as you get something, as you discover a new interesting piece of code, put it in here so that other people can take a look. Maybe they can benefit from your research. So I want this to be an open forum, these discussions with respect to any kind of new code that you come up with. All right. So if somebody comes up with that, I strongly recommend you post it. I think that's the professional thing to do. The next item that we want to talk about is how to merge data sets. This is a little trickier. There are four major types of merges. There is an inner join, there's an outer join, left join, and right join. When you are executing joins, there must be a primary key or a combination of variables that can be used as the primary key. If you have an imprecise primary key, you could significantly inflate your join data set. All right. So for this example, we're going to go back to the sales file. So for this example, let's read in the sales file. From Vivitor and the purchase price file. All right, so let's put this in here. I'm gonna type this in. So we want to, again, I think we've already imported pandas already up here, so we don't have to put that in there. So we're going to put in sales equals pd dot read underscore CSV, and we want to read in that file sales final 6/30/2021.csv. And I'm going to change the sales date because I've just been doing that. So sales date is going to now equal pd dot to date time parentheses sales date. All right. And I also want to read in prices. So we'll call this data set prices, and that is pd dot read underscore CSV. And we want to read in I can go over here and see what the file name is, make sure I got it right. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. 2021 purchase prices JUN.CSV. Okay, so that should do that. So let's read in the data. Make sure I don't have any errors in my syntax. Because what we want to do is we want to merge these. Still reading in the sales file. All right, let's see. Here we go. Sales is in there. There's what we've been seeing. Let's just change the date. No. What do I have in here? PD to date. Now, see, I got a typo there. It's TIME. Let's try that again. You see, doesn't know what that means. Put in the right script. Okay, and then let's read in prices. Looks like I got that. Okay, so I got prices and I've got sales. So we review the two data sets, and so we're going to open up sales. Yes. And we'll also open up prices. So that's prices. And I want to find my sales file somewhere. There it is. Okay, so we can open those up, or we can just get our info on each of these. So let's look at sales.info and prices.info. We'll run those just so we have both of those outputs here. So you can see here are all the variables: store, brand, description, etc. And then we look at the prices variables. We have brand, description, price, size, volume, classification, purchase price, vendor number, vendor name. So we've got a lot of overlap here. All right, got a lot of overlap here, and we have what we don't have in the price file. We don't have inventory ID. We don't have store, so there's not a separate price per store per inventory ID, right? We do have brand, we do have description, right? And price, size, volume, classification, vendor number, vendor name, those are all common. So let's kind of list out what we have for common variables. So these are the overlapping. So brand, description, price, size, volume, classification, vendor number, vendor name. Those are all the same variables, right? So which variable, if we're trying to join these together, which variable would provide the easiest match? To all the sales, right? Vendor number and vendor name, well, those likely exist for a number of different brands, right? So we probably can't use that. Size, that probably also exists for multiple brands across different vendor names. So probably size wouldn't do it. Volume and price, probably the same thing. I could have a similar sales price across all of this, right? Because we don't have purchase price and the sales file. We just have the price, so it's the sales price. And volume, we probably have. How many 1999s do we have? It went across a variety of different brands. So there's likely similar products with the same size, volume, and price. So the only two that are unique across the items are description and brand. Description could work, right? It could absolutely work, but there may be concerns over the spelling of brands in one file versus the other, where I think they should match, but they don't, because maybe they're off by just one letter. A simpler variable might be this brand variable, because brand is an integer as it currently stands in both data sets. So we would expect that brand would probably be the best variable. So brand is likely the best variable to work when we are joining. Right? That's probably the best primary key we've got. All right. So in the next, now that we've kind of figured that out, the next video we'll go through and we'll actually execute some of the different joins that exist.